Hey guys, what's going on? This is Travis P11. I'd like to welcome you back to the channel. Well, we're getting ready to head out to the range here pretty soon, and we're going to be trying something a little bit different. I got a bit of a gear test for you today. I was contacted by a representative of Pro For Sho a couple weeks ago, and they asked me if I wanted to test out some of their hearing protection, their shooting muffs, safety muffs, whatever you want to call them. And I said, yeah, I'd love to try them out. I've been using the same ear protection for years now, and it's okay stuff, but I've noticed that in certain situations like while rifle shooting or just general use, they feel kind of small, right? And they're functional, but they're okay. But you know, like a lot of people, you kind of get used to using the same hearing protection and you stick with it for a while. Well, the Pro For Sho design and construction and build seems to be pretty good right out of the box. I do like what I see. What's really cool about it is you have a ton of adjustability on the top, and I find myself wearing a stocking cap quite often at the range because it's freezing outside, or I wear a ball cap, and I really like the fact that I've got that extra inch or two that I need once I'm wearing it so that the muffs don't feel like they're constantly pushing up or pushing off to the side, and that's kind of a situation or a problem that I deal with my current hearing protection. And so they sent me a copy or a version of their safety muffs to test out, and so we're going to just range test these. I'm going to see if I notice any kind of a difference while shooting my PT 1911 with these muffs versus the other ear muffs that I wear. I might just do 3 different little group rounds, just take 5 shots or whatever, just to see how it sounds, see if I notice any kind of a difference or reduction in the impulse and so on, any perceived difference in the noise reduction or not. Really, from what I see right now, from when you put them on, they do fit really well, and they offer different sizes for you that you can go with. I believe that they also offer a variety of different colors too. And I was told initially when I got them, they're going to be tight. They take a little bit of break in, and they're tight, but they're also comfortable. And just looking at myself in the camera, what I'm seeing on my little LCD screen here, I've got plenty of room, I've got plenty of space. They do sit really well. And what's nice about them also is, like a lot of your hearing protection, you can push them back so they don't take up a lot of space in your gear bag. You can collapse them down a little bit, your little side prongs that you have here, and fold it up, and it goes into a nice, neat, tidy little package. So I haven't really ever tested hearing protection items on this channel before, but again, if you're going to do any shooting, even if it's just a 22 LR, you need to make sure that you definitely do something to protect your hearing while you're out there. Any firearms for that matter, as much as you possibly can. So the Pro For Sho, we're going to go ahead and take these out and test them and see how they work. Maybe show you a little bit of the footage while I'm out there shooting, and we'll go from there. So guys, thanks for watching us, and we'll go ahead and head on out to the range. All right, here we go. Alright, so the actual shooting experience with the Pro For Sho earmuffs, what I noticed immediately once I put them on was how much more generous they were in terms of the reach that they give. I had no trouble testing these out with a stocking cap on. Now, I wasn't shooting with a stocking cap on in the video that you see here with me shooting the Taurus PT 1911, just because maybe that might not be the safest practice to show off on camera, although I do that quite a bit. You might lose a little bit of a seal by wearing the ear protection over a stocking cap. But again, I just wanted to test it off to the side, and the Pro For Shos fit perfectly, as well as over a baseball cap. And when you're shooting with, when you've got, it's hard to explain it. When you do a lot of shooting with the same hearing protection, there's a certain amount of noise that you kind of get used to, that you're just accustomed to no matter what you're shooting, rifle, pistol, and so on. But with the Pro For Shos, when you've got that extra 7 to 8 decibel reduction over the hearing protection that you're normally using, it's amazing how much difference it actually makes. I mean, it was so much so that when I was shooting, I mean, I'm not typically a flincher. I'm usually not somebody that like, you know, will close my eyes right before I pull the trigger, but it does make a big difference when you reduce the amount of noise that a gun is producing. And I really think that these would be excellent for maybe somebody you're taking out to the range as a first-time shooter. Obviously, you want to get the best hearing protection that you possibly can, right? And these would be excellent for somebody who might be maybe sensitive to noise, or somebody who flinches when they shoot, or somebody you're taking to the range, especially indoors where you notice that sound amplification popping up even more. It does make a big difference. So, you know, the overall build quality, I wore them for almost 2.5 hours at the range. They were very comfortable when I was wearing them at the range the whole time. The padding is excellent. They are AMOCAT approved, just so you know. I've even seen people saying that these would come in handy for somebody that has a child that's sensitive to noise, say a child who suffers maybe from an autistic condition. So they do have more uses than just simply at the shooting range. If you use a lot of power tools, for instance, it could be one of those things where you might want to consider going for something that extra 7 to 8 decibels. It's definitely worth it. We'll talk about specifications here in just a minute. And another thing that I definitely, you know, we're going to talk a few more features about this. Another thing I definitely appreciated while using the Pros was the foam is nice and and consistent and firm, whereas on my other passive earmuffs that I've been wearing, you have almost a rubber, and sometimes the plastic can push harder on certain places on the sides of your head. And I know it doesn't sound like a big deal, but when you're shooting someplace for a couple hours at a time, it really does make a big difference just in terms of the overall fatigue that you feel. Another thing that I definitely enjoyed about the Pros, that's what I'm just going to call them from here on out, versus the Champions and the Winchester, was that these have a much more slender cut on the sides. If you're somebody that does a lot of rifle shooting, you might appreciate that, especially if you're dealing with like a high cheek comb or you're high up on your stock, and bulkier ear protection might be a little more inconvenient for you to use, especially if you're somebody that uses a lot of lead sledding and things like that, or do a lot of long distance shooting. Now, just as a comparison, I was using these Champion muffs for years. These only offer these are Champion Slim passive earmuffs. They only offer a 21 decibel reduction in noise, okay? The Winchesters, which are huge, okay, they offer a 26 decibel reduction in noise. And then you've got the Pros, which kind of fit in between in terms of just size and just overall dimensions. And we'll do a quick measurement on these here in just a second. These offer the 34 decibels. So they do offer a class-leading or industry-leading reduction in noise, which again, it's a big deal in terms of hearing because you might be shooting some very loud calibers, especially as you start to get up into those larger calibers that you shoot. Just basic dimensions, what are we looking at? For height, we're looking at 4.5 inches roughly. Yeah, 4.5 inches. Okay, your width, we're looking at 3 and about 1/4. Depth, all the way out to the sides, just a shade under 2 inches. So, I mean, really, you're looking at kind of a nice kind of in-between size earmuff that isn't going to be too bulky. And again, if you do a lot of shooting, you know, maybe you want to look at going the active route, but the passive ones do offer a significant amount of reduction in noise. So let's get these out of the way. And honestly, I didn't even wear the other pairs like I thought I was going to at the range because these did such a good job. I decided just to go ahead and stick with them the whole time. I was so happy with how they felt and the difference in the noise reduction. Also, one other thing I want to show you real quick is that when you have them extended out all the way, actually when you're wearing them, there's about a 1/2 inch difference in the overall height of the Pros, which I like about that because that's what gives you that little extra that you need to cover your ears, especially if you're wearing a hat or a stocking cap and so on. I'd mentioned before I was going to test it with a stocking cap or hat. And so if I ever wanted that kind of protection before, I would have to wear these big monsters, whereas my Slims are great in the summertime, but these just don't do the job with the hat or stocking cap on. And I'm shooting 6 months out of the year in freezing or near freezing conditions. And so it is a big deal to me. That extra amount of length that they give you in the adjustability, I think it definitely makes it worth it. So some specifications on the Pros. What do you need to know? Well, the price on Amazon, it bounces between, I think it's about $17.45 is what we're looking at. Now these are considered the size small is what they're called when you actually look them up on Amazon. And so what that means is young child through average adult. Well, I guess I'm an average adult because these fit me just right. So if you know somebody that's got a larger head, you might want to get them the larger size, which you can also get from Amazon too. The larges are said to go on, let's see, average teen through large adult. So I guess I'm an average person and I don't know what my diameter of my head is, but anyway, try the smalls first because you'd want to get ones that are going to be somewhat snug. You don't want something that's going to fit loosely or it's just not going to offer you the kind of sealing and protection that you really need. As for the foam itself, got a nice textured inside with a nice firm foam that's not uncomfortable. The foam itself is in there, it's nice and generous. And you can definitely tell how that's going to offer you some great protection and some great sealing capabilities too. I've already showed you before, you can fold them up nice and compact so they'll go in a range bag with no problems at all. They're a decent plastic construction and build. And here's another thing too, guys. They offer you a 90-day, no questions asked, money back guarantee, okay? And then they also have a lifetime warranty on them. So if these ever break or have problems, I've got the box right here. I would just contact the company and send them back in. They offer a variety of different colors. And so you can get it to be fashionable, I guess, or you can, you know, make it to match any team colors you might be shooting with for that matter. A few more of the specifics, and again, I'm just getting this straight off of Amazon. Talking about weight and so on, we are looking at 7.2 ounces. The part number is PASBL. This is the small size, okay? Color is black. They say 4.4 by 4.4 by 4 inches, but I think that they're, yeah, this is folded size. They are ANSI, or ANSI, S1319, and CE, N521 tested and certified, so anybody that does construction, you might need to know those specifications. Commercial residential is the usage. Batteries included? No. Batteries required? No. Okay, so again, just some of the basics about them. So overall, I'm very happy with it. I'm going to continue using them. If they have any problems at all, I'm definitely going to send them back in. But the construction and quality is very good. And when it comes to hearing protection, you want something that's going to be comfortable. And like I said, something that reduces noise even more could give you a little bit of an edge in competition, noise fatigue, or maybe taking a new shooter out to the range. Or if you have a child that's just noise sensitive, give them something that's going to give them an extra 10 decibels in reduction versus the competition for really just a couple bucks more. So for what they're offering you for the price, I would recommend them, okay? If I didn't like them, if I didn't think they fit good, if they fell apart, if they were garbage, you guys would have seen that in my videos. I mean, if you look at my videos, I'm not afraid to show guns jamming when they don't work or me not able to hit the target. I mean, I'm giving you the honest truth on how I feel about this. So, and again, hearing protection, not something I take lightly. My dad has friends that have hearing loss issues for military service and work. My dad has to wear hearing protection all day at his job, so it is important to us because, you know, your hearing, you might not realize that it's going as you get older, and you don't want to accelerate that loss. So anyway, guys, that is it. So my thanks go out to Pro For Sho. I keep wanting to say Pro For Sho. But anyway, thank you so much for sending me the trial pair. I'm actually going to buy a couple pairs for my best friend and his wife who are just getting into shooting. They do currently have to rent ear protection when they go to the range. Hopefully they won't watch this video because I don't want them to see it. I don't want it to ruin the surprise. But anyway, I think that they would probably like them. And you know, if we go through Amazon, if there's problems with the size, it'd be easy to return. Pro For Sho is a small company, and I like to give them some support. And they are not made in the USA, but they are designed in the USA. The company is USA based. They are a small company, so I give them some support. So anyway, guys, there you go. Okay, these are the Pro For Sho safety ear muffs, 34 decibel reduction safety muffs, okay, hearing protection muffs. And hey guys, I just want to let you know, if you're interested in ordering these shooting hearing protection ear muffs, you can go to Amazon.com, and at the time of checkout, you type in the coupon code TRAV3GJ2. That's TRAV3GJ2, and that will get you 10% off any color of the Pro For Sho 34 decibel noise reducing shooting hearing protection ear muffs. So just a little discount for my viewers. All right, let's go on. And that's it, guys. So if you like what you see, please like or subscribe, guys. You can check me out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can also follow me on gunchannels.com with the Ordinary Average Guy Gun Channel. Also, my Saturday morning podcast called Caliber Corner. Check it out. It's a live podcast that we do Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. Central Time. And if you like what you saw, you can support the channel over on Patreon with www.patreon.com/TravisP11. So that's it, guys. I want you to have fun. I want you to be safe. Have a great week. And as you know, we will talk to you soon. All right, guys, take care. Bye-bye.